What's good? Thank you for tuning in today. Today on the show, we're doing it live. Live at 5. Well, live at 6:45. I got my boy D. I got my sisters Shepard, Eliajah, and my boy Bit D.
Bro, I'm about to lose a little religion I got, bro. I'm about to lose a religion I got, bro. I'm about to lose the little religion.
anyway, anyway, we are here. We are here. We are
I
here.
can't
We are here.
where her camera was? On mine. I can't see her.
You can't see her? Oh Lord Jesus, hold on.
She never kicked out stage.
All right, can you see her now? No? Is it working? I can see her.
I can't see her. There she go. I can see her
I
now.
can see y'all.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. I couldn't see her. For some reason, I couldn't see her. For some reason.
All right, so I'm gonna let everybody do their introductions. Ladies first.
Thank you, gentlemen. My name is LS. I am the co founder and founder, if you will, of FM33X Foresight Media. And that's basically a podcast and a spiritual sanctuary where we talk about self development and self mastery. Popping it over.
All right.
I'm Dominique. Dang, y'all got some good titles. Huh? I'm Dominique, man. I'm co-host
I
of this
got you, Dom.
show.
You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready?
Y'all are hilarious.
Ladies and gentlemen, your starting point guard.
Brother DJ. And y'all know me, I'm constantly here. Just, giving my insight on these lovely topics and, different things going on in the world. So, and I'm just here just to enjoy it, have a good time.
Very nice. Very
Round of
nice.
applause for the panel.
I like those sound clips, DJ.
Thank you. I'm trying to do this a little bit differently, I'm trying to get better at
I like
this,
that.
because I don't want my podcast to be dry, too much dryness.
That audience is getting it right. Okay.
Got the drums in there.
So
Uh, but all right, y'all, we're gonna go on and bring up this topic. This topic. Let me gear it up. Let me gear it up for us for our viewing pleasure.
She looking goofy.
All right,
That ain't the
here
topic.
it goes.
You today.
Oh, wow.
And
Yes.
I'm already getting tweets and text messages about the exchange that me and TK had here. So, what do you guys teach your daughters about the entitlement? Where entitlement sometimes it's a boundary that women set up to make sure that they're not getting less than they deserve. How do you guys teach them to navigate that?
So here's what you're saying. You're talking about parents that don't raise their kids.
No, I'm asking for
No,
you
listen
guys
to what I'm
that are
saying. I'm
parents that
sharing
do
with
raise
you.
their kids.
You're paid. No, men who raise their children, their daughters don't go around thinking like that because we take care of our children.
That's what her father said.
Shut up.
That's what boy
Shut-
TK.
shut up.
Man, when you ready, right?
Shut
Yeah.
up.
See, when a father don't take care of his daughters, that's the results that you get.
Is what?
Entitlement. You feel that you're supposed to get certain things, but when a man takes care of his daughters, she's not looking for nothing from man. Because she got a dad.
Mm-hmm.
She'll never come to another man and expect anything.
What I was trying to say is that even if
gonna
you
cut it
are
right
grew up in a
there.
house.
All right, so y'all heard the clip pretty much. When y'all heard what he said, I mean, it's kind of hard to paraphrase that, but I think he said it
it's
very.
very straightforward.
So we're gonna talk about this, and I want to get everybody's input on what y'all think about what he said, and we're gonna go from there. So let's start this conversation off right. You know what I'm saying? Since my little bro introduced the topic to me, I think it's only right that you take it away, bro.
Agreed.
Whew. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you would agree with him, huh? Man, when I sent you that topic, when I sent you that video, I think it resonated with me because I have a daughter, and so when I heard it, it kind of made me think. I'm like, man, that kind of make you do one. Because I've been seeing where a woman that wasn't with her dad, how they look for they look for that boy that they don't have in their dad in someone else, and
Mm-hmm.
so I want to, I'm kind of big on making sure I'm there for my daughter, so where that's our role. We be like, we want to be in our daughter's life, so she would know how a man's supposed to take care of them, and then how to be there where they won't have to be looking for a man to do everything for them. So when I saw that video, I sent it to you. I just knew it would be a good topic because it was like, man, like that's the world today. It's like you can tell the difference because most women they independent, but then it's like if they had that dad was missing, because then you like you say you won't be running straight to someone else like that man be like, okay, well I lead to just him. I let him do everything, and then they kind of tend to know how to do it themselves because their dad be like, hey, this is how you do this is how you do this, and then whatever. Because most of the women, some women don't know how to change the tire, some women do. I think those ones you can kind of see who kind of had their dad in their life, and it's a pretty big thing where
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty big, no doubt, no, it's pretty big in the world today.
All right. All right. Elijah, we
DJ, what do
listen.
you think? No, what do you think, DJ? I
What
want to
do
hear
I?
from.
I like how she went.
Hear from
Dude.
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
I like it all.
uh,
what do I think about the clip? I, I'm
yeah.
I'm kind of conflicted with it, and the reason I say I'm conflicted with it is because I see both I see both arguments that is being laid out. Um,
Mhm.
where he said that where he was saying that you're talking about somebody a woman who wasn't raised by her dad or whose parents didn't raise them right. I mean, because a woman who is raised by her their dad does not go looking for that in a man because they're confident in themselves. I feel that, but at the same token, I mean, I should have probably let the clip play on a little bit longer. I mean, at what point in time do how do I word this correctly? It goes back to love language, and that's what I'm trying to get to. I think it goes back to a person's love language. If a person's love language is hey, in order for me to feel loved by you, I need you to show me this. I need this. I need that. We shouldn't shun the female or the male for stating how they want to be loved or how they're looking for affection to be shown towards them. That just may be what they're looking for. Now, where I have a problem with it is if you're on the first date and I get it, hey, state what you want, be very open and clear on the first date. If you're on the first date and you're talking about, oh, well, if you don't make six figures, you can't come talking to me. Okay, I mean, I feel that, but the thing is, what are you doing to make six figures? So I'm just
Yeah.
saying,
So I'm ready to dive in. Thank
let's
you
get
guys for
it.
sharing your perspective. Um, and I receive your perspective. I agree. I too think that there is such people, particularly since we're talking about women, such women that are entitled in the world. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do not agree that it has anything to do with just a father being in your life. I believe that I personally know and have girlfriends that have fathers in their lives, showed up every day, two-parent households, and because they've had that type of security and support, they automatically expect any man that they're dating to provide that security and support off the rip. So then
Mm-hmm.
that's the complete opposite of what you're saying. So it can't be, in my opinion and through my experience, so gridlocked in one sided. It can't just be due to a person not having. I just brought this topic up with narcissism a few months back on Club Geneva, that podcast, when we talked about orphans can have narcissism. You don't necessarily have to go through physical trauma. in that very instance. You could be born through it. Like you could be born with lack. It doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily end up a Jeffrey Dahmer.
Mm-hmm.
There's other specific variables, is my point, that play a part in that. And that's what brings me to my next point. I believe that we as women don't need to require anything from men outside of my standard. A man is going to come around and treat me how I treat me. I don't need him to treat me how my father treats me. That's two different lanes. I'm not his mother, so that's two different lanes. I'm not his daughter, that's three different lanes. So I don't need a man to come in and be my father. I don't need a man to come in and be my son. So if I'm giving to you from a way of mothering, you're lacking and I'm lacking. You understand what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah.
There's
Mm.
other things that play a part in that. So for me, that man is incorrect because he was so gridlocked, only because, not because of his point of view in itself, but because he was too gridlocked into one point of view where he's saying, um, any woman that does not have a male figure in her life is walking around wanting and seeking for that. That's not necessarily true. That's just not. And it's the same thing for men. I know plenty of men that have been taught by their mothers how to maintain themselves and everything. So when they actually meet a woman, they're not really looking for a person to wash dishes and to cook. Is it nice? Absolutely. Are they grateful? Yes. But what happens when you find a man that can do his laundry and cook his own meals? And he's not gay. He's heterosexual. He just knows how to maintain himself. What else are you bringing to the table? And I think going back into what you're saying, DJ, love languages, let's dive a little deeper. That's child development when you start going into relationships looking to be filling voids and things. You
Mm-hmm.
should come pretty much fulfilled yourself. So again, when I'm dating somebody, or when I have somebody in my life, I do expect them to treat me like me. So if you are talking about six figures, 9 times out of 10, I'm making that. If I'm asking you to, yeah. If we're on this date, yeah. And I do believe men and women shouldn't sign up for relationships that they're not prepared to work for. You can't go to a job like tech and not be certified.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't accept dates, not just women, men too. We shouldn't accept dates from people that aren't on our standards. And we
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't, you know what I mean, be putting our standards out just for validation. We should be able to meet our own standards. That's my opinion.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that ending part. That the ending part hit meeting your own
And
standards. And I
meet your
feel and I'm not just talking about men. I mean, no, I'm not just talking about women. I'm talking about men too. I
right,
feel
right.
a lot of men today we both parties, I'm just gonna say both parties fall short of their own standard. So you got men who talk about, oh, I want a woman who's gonna cook, who's gonna clean, who's gonna do this and do play the role of a woman, but yet you can't cook, you can't clean, you don't even know how to boil a pot of water or know
Or be a
that,
helpmate.
yeah, or be a helpmate. And then
Hmm.
same thing for the women. You know, you want a man that makes six figures, but are you you know? And I'm using the six figure thing because it's been something I've heard from a lot of
Um,
on a lot of
Yes,
different clips.
a lot of
You
women.
know,
it's
oh, I
going
want a
on.
man that
It's
makes
going
six
on.
figures, but yet you yourself don't even know how to handle six figures or know
You,
what
you don't
six.
have a six-figure mindset. Yeah,
Yeah, there
no.
you go. There you go.
Yeah, no, no. Yeah, I agree with you, Jerome. You know what you're talking about. You're not crazy. You know what you're talking about. You have girls, and your girls are coming from, two-parent households. It doesn't mean that they're not going to say one day that they're lacking something. Just not to say
Oh.
that they would ever say that. You know what I mean? Oh, God forbid. Hopefully they never say that. But you
Hmm.
can have a house full of people and them come out of that house all individually experiencing that same experience is different. You understand what I mean? So you don't
Mhm.
know who's lacking. And it's not my responsibility to sit across from Jerome on a date and hear or see what he's lacking and try to fill that void. It's not. It's
No.
not. It's like I'll give you an example. And this is really funny. When I first started dating, like after like one of my most serious breakups, this guy, I was like going off about being a mom and all these things. And he like stopped me. So he was such a gentleman. He was like, excuse me. He's like, can you tell me any more about you? And I was like, I am telling you about me. Like, I'm a mom, da da da. He was like, you're so much more than just a mom and your job and things like that. And my point is we get so attached to titles and names and statuses that we really don't even know how to show up, just bare ourselves. Right? You understand what I mean? So think about that. Think about how many people that you authentically went around and you genuinely just wanted to get to know them, but they felt like they had to fit the bill or like put on for you to do that. So yeah, it happens. It happens.
It's crazy you say that because I was talking to someone and I remember it was early on in the dating stage and they asked me something about myself. Or no, they asked me what is something good about myself, and I went and started talking about my kids because my life has
Yep.
been so centered around my kids. She said, "No, no, what about you?" She said, "What
Yes.
makes you?" No, no, that's what it was. She said, "What makes you happy?" And I think I believe I said it was so quick. Man, my kids seeing my kids like this. She said, "No, no, what makes you happy?" And I was like, and it was me. It did because I never had someone actually ask me what makes you happy because I knew all my life since I had my kids, it was always my family. When I was married, it was my wife, it was my family, making sure they was good. I never did anything that made me happy. So then now when
Yep.
that question be poured, be asking me, I'm just like, my first mindset is to be, oh, this is what makes me happy because I know it generally do make me happy, but I had to literally go deeper into what she was asking. What really makes me happy, and that like you say, it's that goes like I said. When you just said it, kind of struck a nerve with that happiness thing. I was like, oh man, I remember being asked that the same ways, and I was just like, man, that's yeah, it's something special, man.
Jerome's daughter, and I want to get off of this because I do this constantly. I can't take over the conversation, but Jerome's daughter recently did a poem and it sparked an inspiration in me for my next question of next week. And the question is, who are you when no one's hurt you? Who are you if you've never been hurt? Like,
Mm.
who would you show up as if you've never been hurt in your life? If you've never, that's what I'm saying. Like, me and you gonna talk, Jerome. Me and you gonna talk about that special
Mm.
girl you got. Because there's some things she's dropping jewels on my old butt. And it really
Mm.
sparked that question. Like, who are you if you've never been hurt? You know? Um, Interesting. Because it piggybacks off of the entitlement and how you show up in dating and everything. So go ahead, Jerome, take it away.
That
What's our next one?
that's a good one, bro. Like I wanna kind of touch on that. Who are you if you've never been hurt? Like, yo, that I
Uh,
mean,
don't
I can
hurt.
I don't know. I don't feel like I feel like I don't have it. I really couldn't honestly answer the question, at least not right now. I would actually have to think
Mm-mm.
about it because I'm built off of my hurt. My hurt
Uh-huh.
is what's made me the person that I am. And I
Yep.
don't and it's crazy because I've been hurt and I've hurt other people. But
Mm-hmm.
all that has shaped me into being who I am and what I am. So if you take away that hurt, if you take away that stuff that I've been through, I can't guarantee that you would get the same me right now. Because
Are you still Jerome?
honestly, I would honestly like the gut answer in me that I have right now, I would say I wouldn't be the same person that I
Yeah.
am right
Yep.
now for the simple fact is because that hurt is what shaped me into me. You know,
Um,
looking back over the
Agreed.
things that looking back over the things that I've been through and the things that I went through, that shaped me as not just a person but as a father and as a husband. Now, again, I
Right.
dropped the ball being a husband. I've dropped the ball plenty of times, and my wife can testify to that. But as a dad, because of some of the hurt that I went through, I made sure as a dad, you know what? I may not be perfect.
Sure. I love that.
I may suck at being a man. I may suck at being a husband, but I'm gonna be the best damn dad that I could possibly be because my kids didn't ask to be here and
100%.
they deserve all of me. I've had to learn how to not just be the the stern father figure, but I had to learn how to be sympathetic because I have girls. So I understand that
Mm-hmm.
emotions run high. I understand that logic will sometimes go out the window, and sometimes I have to be that logical person. Like, hey, stop, take a deep breath,
And
look
there's
at.
power in that. There's power in that. I'm 34 years old. And the other night, I was going out for the first time to a new spot. And the first thing I thought of was, I have to call my dad. So I text my dad and tell him that I'm in this new spot. I'm 34 years old. My dad is like, he's old. It's just, it's the comfort and security of knowing that, hey, I'm in communication with the person that has my back. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what you did this for. Remember, we just was talking about this, Jerome. Like you did this,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the couple months you just had, bro. Like you've had some crazy couple months.
Man, it's
So
been crazy.
anytime you can have a full
Graduations,
circle, yeah.
vacations.
Yeah, like anytime you can have a full circle moment, like you said, where you can sit back. Maybe it's not a question that you can ask yourself right now. Not a shameful question either. Let me just throw that out there. It's
Oh
not to
no,
shame
no.
anybody into
That,
thinking,
It's a good
like not at
question.
all.
For those
man,
It's just the
watching,
meat and
this is a good
potatoes.
question.
Yeah,
that
it's just the meat and potatoes. Because even for me, I would not take back. I don't have regrets in my life, so I wouldn't take back anything I've been through. It's been hard, but I don't take anything back. It shaped me. With that though, I really don't know who I would be without it. I've alchemized hurt and disappointment throughout my life. So to not be able to do that takes an essence, a part of my essence. So I don't know I don't think I would be any less dope. I think I would still be amazing in my own right. I just I don't know who that person would be. So I agree with you on that.
I,
Yeah.
I think that's a good question. I really just been like thinking of it because I'm with y'all with the hurt. I don't know who I would be as a person either, without that hurt because I think my hurt when it comes like with DJ what you were saying about the parenting, like my dad wasn't in my life early on in my life, and so I used to express how hurt I was out of anger, with anger, and I used to do it on social media. And he followed me on social media and everything, and I used to express it. And it wasn't until I was going through my divorce and some other things that me and him we could reconnect, and it took him where he was like, I used to see everything you said. He's like, I seen everything you said. He said, I didn't say anything because I knew you was hurt. He say, and what made me kind of lower my guard down with him was when he was like, I wish I can be a father like you. Cause he see how I am with my kids. And when he said,
Absolutely.
it was like me and him has been like close since then everyday talk thing. I know he's my dad. He whatever, but it's just like that resentment that I had for him because I'm like, how I could never understand how a father know he got children in this world and he can just go on about his life and not worry about what that child is, how that child is doing. And I could never, until I have my kids, and I'll use that hurt from him to say I will never do my kids like that. I say I don't care. Me and the mom don't work out, okay, fine, but I'm gonna still find a way to be in this child's life through hell and high water. And I
Do
did.
we
I have been, and it was like when you said it, I was just like, that hurt shaped me to where I am right now. And I'm just like, my kids. They in the room right now with me. They've been with me all month long, and it's just being with them, and that hurt really made me be the strong. Be like, man, because some fathers, if you don't go through that, you might give up. You just man, whatever. I'll just move on with their life, but. I just couldn't do that for them because it's not right. Like you say, DJ, they didn't ask to be here, and it'd be wrong of me to just up and just leave them. You know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't feel right as a person, as a human being.
I
Nah,
like that answer. I have a question for you, DJ. I have a question for you.
yes, ma'am.
All right. We all agreed that hurt has shaped us. We don't know who we would be without it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we know that, we've acknowledged it, is there ever going to be a way for us to be able to let go of the hurt that we have to be able to reach a place of peace with that hurt? So, for instance, let me give you the example. Dominique, right? That's your name. You
Hmm.
just used father and you. If your father came to you and you didn't have kids, you never had kids, and you told him what he was doing, and he said, "My bad," or "I'm really sorry, I didn't mean that." Would you believe him the same way And in the same form as you do as a man that has children, and him specifically saying to you, I couldn't be the father that you could be. Those are two different apologies.
Two different
And
ones.
that's why I'm saying, like, do we let go of the hurt? Like, or is that DJ? You understand what I'm trying to say? Like,
I get
when
what you're
those
saying.
situations come up, yeah, like, what do we do? Like, do we let go of the hurt? Have you ever let go of all that hurt, DJ? While Dom's thinking of the answer, like, have you ever let go of all
Me
the hurt
personally,
for yourself?
I just I've gradually let it go, and it's
Hmm.
been in gradual states. Like first, it started with having to forgive myself, and having to try to find some type of like for myself. I've said it on my podcast a lot. I
Hmm.
suffer from low self esteem. At a point in time, I
Hmm.
did not like myself. I did not like anything
Hmm.
about myself. If you told me to tell you something good about myself, I couldn't tell you anything good about myself because,
Hmm.
again, by my own measurements, I failed. But then I I learned that I didn't like myself because of things that had happened to me that I was still holding on to, and taking the
Hmm.
blame for things that I was at a young age that I didn't have any control over. So
Right.
it's been gradual. It's been gradual. Now, I would say even if I didn't have my kids, I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't be here. I don't think I would be alive.
Hmm.
And that's
That's
just
real
me.
rap. Okay.
That's just me being real. I don't think I would be alive if it wasn't for my kids because my kids my kids have saved me on multiple occasions. My
Wow.
kids are the reason. Well, God is the reason I'm still here, but God knew what He was doing by giving me my children because they have saved my life on multiple occasions.
That's a beautiful answer, DJ. You know, I know that you're telling the truth. I know you love your babies.
Oh yes.
Mhm. To your question, I don't know. I couldn't. I think I have more questions than to just kind of like how easy I was to let it go and just kind of like be. I'll have more questions. I think because I wouldn't know what he experienced in regards to like having a child. So the first thing I'm gonna be like, you abandoned me. You had that kind of abandonment kind of feeling, and so
Absolutely. Yeah.
me, I'm sorry, it just wouldn't cut it for me. I gotta be like,
Facts.
but then when you have kids, I still have questions for them. There's no doubt about that. But I think that, like I said, my wall of like protection from him, or that wall of, I ain't gonna say hatred, but just like resentment, just like, man, my dad did this to me, and he did, I don't make no excuses for him. Whatever, he had his reasons. They was young, so I understand that. But that wall was up because I still, like I say, I didn't ask to be here. So even then, you still would want to still have some kind of form of relationship with me, but it wasn't there. And I just would like to be like, but why? What it is about me that made you not want? Was it my mom? Did something happen between you and my mom? I would have had so many other questions, but then once I have two kids, and then I'm pouring that hurt into them, where I'm just pouring that energy and positive, using that negative energy into a positive, and be like, okay, I'm gonna make sure my kids are good. All right, I'm gonna make sure they had this, make sure they had that, make sure they was
Mhm.
good. And so then when that conversation happened, it was like, okay, now me and you can have this father son, like we can now not talk, we can talk without me kind of like feeling a way where I can just like, okay, dad, this is what I feel. And I done had some very emotional talks with him since then, because now I can open up to him because I feel safe to be like, okay, I can tell you this, rather than I don't know if I should tell you this, because what if you don't hear me, you don't listen to me, you don't understand where I think that was my
You
biggest.
don't care. Like, if you don't care, that's kind of how I felt with my mom. Like, my mom had me super young, and there was a lot of times where I didn't come to her as a parent because we were two different types of parents in my mind. And when she acknowledged that, like you said, there's a freeing sensation that comes with that. Like, it was like, I just gave her more grace with it, like more grace in my understanding of where she was at, and understanding that it wasn't personal. People can only give to you from where they're at. So if she never got nothing because her person never got nothing, and like I'm for real on that level, I'm blessed to get anything and to get the best of the best from her,
Yeah.
and to be able to take that and then do double time with my kid, you know. So
Mhm.
like, I kudos to you men for doing the same thing, because there's no handbook. DJ say it all the time. There's no you don't know how many episodes he got saying there ain't no handbook.
Ain't no handbook
There's
for
no
these things.
handbook on this.
Elijah is Elijah. Elijah, right? I'm trying not to
Yeah.
say either, Elijah.
You
Elijah.
got it. No,
It
you got it. You
took
got
me
it. I
to
appreciate you.
therapy. It took me to go to therapy to where I realized that abandonment that I would have to go through for abandonment issues. My uncle had told me, he was like, you need to go to therapy for, you have an abandonment, and I didn't think of that. I'm just going through life, like just going through life and not realizing that I really was hurt. And I realized that a lot of that hurt that I was even the void that I was trying to fill in regards to what I was missing from both my mom and my dad, it was spilling in how can I say it? Spilling and torturing my relationships when it comes to women too. And when it
Mhm.
took me to go to therapy to realize that, but I was like, I think when my last relationship had failed, I was like, I had to go talk to my dad and my mom, and I did it separately. And I told them how I truly felt. I was like, I say my relationship, my lack thereof relationship with y'all is expanding to my relationship when it comes to other people because I don't know how to love them properly like I should. Even when I think I'm doing it right, I'm feeling some type of way. Or I'm feeling it's something that I'm still feeling that it's literally
Of
spilling
course.
into relationships, and I didn't even know it until my therapist said something about it, and I was just like, what? And so once I said that to my mom and dad, I had mixed emotions. I had mixed reactions, but I mean, it is what I just wanted to get it off my chest. And I told them what they did in regards to, even though it wasn't intentional, I was like, because of y'all both, I have both my parents. Not a lot of people can say they have their parents still alive. I have both my parents living, and I still don't have that relationship like I supposed to with y'all. And
Mhm.
I still feel that hurt. I still, as even at 32 years old, I still feel hurt, but
Mhm.
I was harboring in because most men we don't let our feelings go. I say we just kind of hold it in, just keep it going and keep moving in life. But then once my therapist said, "Man, let it go," I said, "Okay, then." So I
Hmm.
called them separately. I didn't do it in a group chat or nothing like that. I didn't even put. I said I wanted to do it face to face, but I didn't. I didn't know how that was going to turn out. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it separately. I called them, told them how I felt, even with their reactions. They both, like I said, they had mixed reactions. I didn't. It didn't bother me. I didn't think. I didn't walk away from those conversations thinking that it was going to change something. I just knew you had to let
Right.
me breathe. And I was like, okay. I told them how I felt. I hope they understand where I come from. But once that happened, I was good. I was comfortable. I've been good since then. I was like, okay, good.
I mean, sometimes that's what
And
it takes.
that's the reason why he started this. Go ahead, DJ.
No, I was just saying sometimes that's what it takes in order to actually get that healing process started. It is to verbalize the basically to summarize the hurt. Hey, look, I feel like this, because this happened, because I went through this, because I didn't have this, I didn't have that. Y'all, basically not pointing the fingers, but being like, hey, this is where I felt unloved, and it caused this. But we also got to be sure to take accountability of our actions, because my
Thank you.
one of the biggest
Oh,
things that I tell my kids, and I tell myself too, is yeah, I'm a I for me, and let me not even bring my kids in. For me, yes, I was hurt growing up, but it does not take away the hurt that I caused my wife,
Mm-hmm.
because I was still immature at the time
Facts.
back then. I have to take accountability of my actions, because I hurt somebody else in the process of me trying to find myself. And believe me, the journey to self discovery is a hard journey, because you got to look at the mirror, and you gotta ask some tough questions. Like, one of the biggest things that I asked myself whenever I was trying to find myself was, who am I? What am I? Why am I here? And how did I get here? I couldn't answer those questions, so I basically had no identity. I didn't know who I was or what I was, how I got into the mess I was into because I was so far down the rabbit hole, I was lost. Like when people say, let me for people that don't know, when they say once you hit rock bottom, the only way up the only way left to go is up. Believe me, that rabbit hole goes down further than y'all know. And if you are not careful, if you don't grab a ledge, you will get lost in the sunken place.
Mm.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. DJ will not say it, but I will say it. Like,
Oh, I
share,
forget.
comment, subscribe,
Yeah, yeah, like share.
subscribe.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Make sure, because if you can't afford therapy classes, you can definitely always tune into What's Good Family Podcast.
Yes.
You
Definitely,
know?
no
She's
doubt.
good at this. She's good at this. She's real good at this.
What you said?
So I completely
I've been
forgot.
watching them for months. I've been watching them for months. Okay.
I completely forgot. Yeah,
That's
but yeah,
that's good. She actually good. She good. Hey,
she did that. She did that real good. I did it.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. DJ, stop.
what they do, DJ like that?
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Okay. Okay. Give me another question, and then I have to drop after this one. I have to drop after
Well,
this
no, we can get ready to wrap it up. We've been going. That way. I still got time to edit. So we'll go on. I'm
one.
gonna go
Okay.
on. Let's go on and wrap it up on this because this was a good one. And we're
Oh,
gonna have to bring the panel back again. So I'm going to do. We're gonna do last words. Last words. Dominic, you get to start us off, bro. She started it. Come on, bro. Lead us on to glory. And let them know where they can find you at, just in case they want to follow you.
Google me, man. Just Google me, Dominique Best, man. You can Google me.
See,
So,
he said it. Dominique Best. I said it right. I said it right.
what he said, like
Sorry.
he said something else, man.
I
You
said it
know,
right.
best. D best. What that thing say? D but it don't say no D boss. It don't say no D beast. It don't say no like that. It say D
I
best.
said that. You know
Last
what?
words is know how to say that name. D
I,
best. know how to say that name. Man, I think. Ooh, Lord. Last words. This was a good. The topic just went. I think when she asked her second question, bro, that kind of threw my mind into that, man.
Sorry.
She threw me off on that. I ain't gonna- She had me over here.
Sorry, guys.
No,
no,
you actually that's perfect. No, last words, man. I like the word you said, DJ. Last was accountability. I think I have learned that over the year of being accountable of all the actions that I have, like you said, the hurt that I have caused and I have been accountable for. And I think us men, we need to be held accountable for, what we do. Yeah, it's easy to, like you say, point blame, point fingers and stuff, but just being able to handle yourself, understand who you are, what you are, and being held yourself accountable for your actions and how to become better. I think we'll become society will be better once we start doing that.
yeah,
I
definitely.
agree. That was
Where
clean.
can
I
they
like
find
that.
you at? Yeah, yeah. Where can they?
Dominic.
Dominic,
What's that? I'm sorry. What happened? What happened?
yo, you zoned out that quick,
Okay.
huh?
Yeah, yeah, all right, come on, man. Think about this. You can Google me. You can find me on Facebook, Dominic Best. You can find me on Instagram, DBESS 1820. They're my kids' birthday year. So DBESS 1820. You can find me on the show some of the most majority of the time. Yeah, that's the only time you the only podcast I actually do. So you can find me here, but mostly Instagram and Facebook are the most two common ones. The other ones, I don't really be involved with, the Snapchat and nothing like that. But most Instagram and Facebook, that's where you can find me.
All right,
All right,
all
you
right.
pinging it back over? All
Hmm?
right. Thank you guys for having me join. You know, I love What's Good Families podcast. I'm a family member of this podcast. So always a good time. Please, if you're interested, follow me at FM33X on all social media. Do not follow if you're not into self discovery, self mastery. This is not a game. Do the work. I'm going to leave people, since we're talking about accountability, I want to leave people with the idea of focusing on yourself before you try to fix someone else or blame someone else or seek validation in others, focus on yourself and your own value. Be steady before you stumble, you know? And that's it. Peace.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all already know what time it is. If you are new to this, go on and hit that like, follow, comment, share, and subscribe button. If you are true to this, leave a comment. Let us know what we think about this live episode. And we will catch y'all again the next time. Peace.